We're currently losing some of our greatest minds to creating ad revenue on Facebook. This is an example, but it's not an oversimplification. The software industry has done a phenomenal job of convincing people that working for them is going to solve the world's greatest problems. Facebook told people they were going to connect people across the world, but obviously they didn't tell people they would dismantle democracy around the world. There's a growing trend of people who work in the software industry who come to me for career advice on how to pivot into climate change, who tell me that despite the amazing perks of working in a company like Google, where they have all the snacks you could possibly ever want, and they're surrounded by smart, hardworking people, that ultimately they go home with a feeling of emptiness because they don't feel that their talents are being used for something that's actually impactful or something that's actually important to them. This is a common feeling, and if you are feeling it right now, I'll tell you many people have felt this. I personally have felt this when I worked at a software company before I pivoted into climate change. And especially right now, if you are seeing the news and watching in real time what's going on to America, and you can't just pretend that everything's okay in your Zoom meetings, then maybe there is something you could be working on. Software companies have had an incredible success bringing in some of our smartest people into their industry and having those smart minds work on just generating more ads, getting more clicks, or working on the next big thing that Google will put into its graveyard. I want to make it clear that I don't blame people for working on these companies because the marketing and the Kool-Aid is really that strong and they pay super well. And they're not unique. Management consulting firms in the finance industry has been doing this for a long time, and I saw this happen real time. As an undergrad at Harvard, I saw some of the smartest people I've ever met come in freshman year, people who would surely find the cure to cancer, and eventually see that by junior year, people were lining up to work for BCG, Deloitte, McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, and eventually big tech companies that were coming to campus to recruit. They were interviewing students on campus, so you didn't even have to really move a muscle to find a job with them. And they were giving them fat checks and promises of working on big, challenging problems. That allure is so strong when you're a college student, even if you know that you have the potential to cure cancer one day. And yes, these are kids who are studying all sorts of things, including medicine. I find that these recruiting tactics are really nefarious, but they're extremely effective. And if you were caught in one of those streams, and now feeling that impact of the hollowness that comes with not having the impact you want, take the first steps to figure out where you want to put your talents. And you don't have to be a founder to do it. There's tons of really great efforts, particularly working on climate change, that you can jump into. I talk about it here on this platform. If I can get one person to not found another AI chatbot company and instead use their talents to focus on solving climate change, that is a win for me.